Hello and welcome back. If you are new here, I'm Krista. I am a makeup artist of over 10 years turned stay-at-home mom, now working on how to create easy, quick beauty with a minimal beauty capsule wardrobe. This video is the third of the ILIA palette series of the Necessities palette, which in warm nude. Really beautiful colors, super versatile. This is the look we're doing today. It is probably the most dramatic, most intense look. So really fun for a girls' night out, for a date night, but it's really fun and it's very easy to do. So if you want to see how to do this look, keep watching. So first, as always, we're going to start with skincare. If you want to do your basic skincare and like makeup routine for the rest of your face, I would say go ahead and do that. And then I will post down below when to skip to the eye look. For those of you that are still here, I am using Naturium Vitamin C Complex Serum. I'm now going in with my moisturizer, which is, it's depotted, but it is the Mario Badescu Collagen Moisturizer. I've gone through dozens of these bottles. It's my absolute favorite daytime moisturizer, and I use it on clients as well as on myself, so that is how much I love it. As always, don't forget your chest and neck, as well as behind your ears, and let that sit just for a few minutes. While that is absorbing, I'm gonna take my depotted eye cream, and I'm using Mario Badescu's Hyaluronic Eye Cream. Very light and very absorbs quickly, not very heavy, so perfect for daytime. I'm gonna let that sit. And lastly, I'm just gonna do sunscreen, and this is the Supergoop Glow, I think it's called Glow Screen, Champagne Glow. So this is gonna give you a nice just glow, nice sheen to the skin. And I love this for like every day too, when I'm obviously having a bad skin moment right now. There's just a lot of breakouts and I've just been stress picking my face, which I don't recommend. Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I'm gonna take my foundation, and we're gonna do just the same way we do it always. I'm mixing two colors, and I'm using the Cosmetics CC, it's the glowy one, which I will link everything down below. Just make sure to spread it out into a very thin layer. That way when you are picking up your product, it is not really heavy, and your sponge, which I'm using a beauty blender, will not apply it heavily. I'm just going all on the face. And always blend down into your neck. My face is a completely different color from my neck, so for me it is absolutely necessary, but it's just kind of like covering your bases, so it looks the most natural. Okay. You want to get on your eyes and just go over your eyebrows with whatever you have on your sponge. So I'm gonna take my concealer because I have a lot going on my face right now. I'm gonna take the concealer, and this is Depotted MAC Studio Finish Concealer, I believe is what it's called. I have two colors here. This is NC30 and NC35. I'm just gonna customize the color here. and just dot it onto the areas that need extra coverage. And a little goes a long way. It is full coverage, so which is why I really like, I've always liked this concealer, because I've always had, had more acne prone skin when I was younger, so it covered really well. Okay, I'm just gonna, the only thing with these, the way I depotted them here is these little wells are not like glued into, or they're not sticking, they don't stick to this part, so they fall out, as you can see. I'm just gonna go around the nose too in case I missed anything. I'm just gonna do just a touch more. And the technique you want to use is just kind of dab that direct area that needs the coverage. You don't want to swirl it around because it'll take off the coverage. So just continue pressing into the direct area that you need the coverage. So next I am gonna do my under eyes. And I only did this like because it's more of a nighttime look, so I'm trying to perfect, because number one, it's a date night look, or you know, more of a nighttime appropriate look, and number two, it's you know, you can kind of see how I would cover up any imperfections. I feel like I don't do it a lot in videos, but you got to see it here, so that way you can kind of get an idea of how to do it. So I'm gonna do my under eyes, and I'm of course gonna go in with the Clinique pens. I believe they have a different version of it now. I'm gonna just go here with that peachy color. This is the color medium, just in the dark areas. And then I am gonna take the illuminator color and just place it in that recessed area. So you can see right here, I have a kind of, my skin is I'm starting to get those like parentheses on the side of my nose. So just place it right in there. And I'm going to take my beauty blender and just press up and down onto the skin. It does such a good job of doing what it's supposed to do, which is, you can see here the kind of puffiness and the bags under my eyes, but when I put my head straight up, it's like almost magic. Like it just kind of makes it come forward, so it doesn't look like that from straight on, but here you can definitely see. Next I am gonna take my beauty blender once again, take the Sephora Micro Smooth Powder in the color 30 Sand. I'm just gonna dab it into the powder and just press. So I'm gonna press under the eye, on the lid, and over the brows. And I like this method of applying because it applies it very lightly, as well as really sets it in without looking like too heavy. Okay, so I'm gonna take my big fluffy brush in the powder, because my skin gets, it still does get oily. I'm just gonna take some powder around the edge of the face. Wherever I'm going to put those powder products is where I want to set with powder. Okay, so I'm going to try something new because I did see it at Sephora, It is their 12-hour setting and mattifying powder. I did notice, like, throughout the day when I do my makeup, when I set it with the micro smooth powder, although it's really pretty, it does tend for me to get very oily by the end of the day. I don't like to touch up. I will do my makeup one time and then whatever it looks like at the end of the day is whatever it looks like. So I kind of wanted to get more of a mattifying powder and like see how that works. So okay, I'm just gonna take my blush brush, just dab it very lightly, and this is the first time I'm using it, so I mean, it looks nice, does its job, what it says it does. And here I am just patting. So I'm patting very, very lightly. And you want to pat really lightly and very, very carefully on any areas that you conceal. Because if you're doing more of a, like you can see already here, I wasn't very careful with how I applied powder. So you can see some of that, some of the breakouts under my nose are starting to show again. We're just gonna do our base, you know, kind of everyday face. So I'm taking Hoola bronzer in my, you know, my palette here. I'm just gonna go, and I'm gonna go a little bit heavier than I would normally go because it is a night look, especially with the bronzer. I'm not gonna go too hard on the contour, or maybe a little bit more blush, but nothing too heavy on those. Kind of want to add some nice bronziness. So you can see I look tan. Yes, I look like I got some good beach time. Yeah, I like that. Really nice. We're gonna go with contour. I'm using Kevyn Aucoin contour powder. It is the best. Just going under here, as you can see, my double chin is just out today. And of course, this part is optional, so contour and just go along the cheekbones. And you want to go kind of start like at the top of the ear, so you see your cheekbone is kind of like, you can, when you press in, you can kind of feel it. If you're in your 30s plus, it helps to go a little bit higher just to kind of lift the face. So my cheekbone is actually here, but I started it just a little bit higher just to give myself some lift. So again, top of the ear, and then just go like a touch above that for my 30 plus girlies. Next, you know, I'm gonna go in with my whatever's left of NARS Orgasm, because it is my favorite blush. And I feel like I did go to Sephora lately and I was looking at buying another one, and it does, the color of the blush, I bought this one probably a year or two ago. The color looks different. It looks not as, there's not as much pigment to it, I feel like, as this one. Like, I actually really like this because it's like there's like a dimension to it. So you can see the peach, but when you turn, you can see the glow. I don't know, it just didn't look the same. It looked like you would have to apply quite a bit just to even get a similar amount of pigment. But I don't know, maybe I'll buy one and try it out. But I also did see that they do have different orgasms. They do have different shades of orgasm. So I think there was like a orgasm X and like a orgasm, I think it was a wave, or there was just different variations of it. So maybe one of those are the original formula and color, and then the new one is something different. I don't know. Really nice bronzed, like defined contours and some nice sheen. Next, I am gonna move on with the look, and I'm gonna do my eyebrows first. Comb brows up, and at the arch I will start combing them down. And let's, just to keep in mind, brows are sisters, not twins. You can see mine's so much higher here as opposed to this side, but that's okay. Okay, so short strokes, and just, I feel like the inner corners of the eyebrows were, you know, like right here, it's crucial. It's like, depending on how you do it, well, can make or break your brows. So you want to go very, very light. I like to start with just kind of defining that underneath part, and then very light strokes on the inner part to create that like shape, you know, like this right here. You gotta be very, very light-handed and just go very slowly. So especially if your brows are very pretty, you know, like different, like mine are, you definitely want to take a step back and look at what you're doing if you have the time. If not, you just do what you can to make them look similar. Okay, so I'm doing short strokes all the way across. So that one's a lot higher, but that's just how they want to live their lives. Another thing I could probably do is draw this brow in just slightly higher at the arch to make them look a little more symmetrical. The lesson in how you can make any adjustments. I'm just gonna comb out, so just so they don't look as dark and blocky. They look a little more natural. And the secret to that is you just take your brush, your spoolie brush, and you just wiggle it. You kind of have to apply a little bit of pressure. It'll actually soften the brow pencil strokes, so it looks a little bit more natural and less drawn in, if that makes sense. I'm just gonna do a little bit right here. So the goal of drawing in your brows is, one, to make them as symmetrical as you can, and two, to make them look as smooth as you can. So next we're gonna do the eye look. We're gonna use the ILIA Necessities palette in Warm Nude. Look at this gorgeous little palette here. We're gonna start off with defining the crease. So I'm gonna go here. This is probably gonna be our darkest like most dramatic look. So I'm gonna just take this, and this is gonna be kind of like the boundary setter. Okay, so you just want to define the crease, make sure it's blended. Next, and I used a 224 brush, so same brush we used in the last two looks. Next, I am going to take this color here, the color Lineup, and a 239 brush, which is a flat shader brush. I'm just going to take it on the side of the brush, and you're going to pat it along the, or on the lid. It's gonna look like that first, and we're gonna blend it in. We just need to make sure that they are fairly symmetrical as far as like the placement. So just do this for now. You want to get a nice kind of like opaque layer of that color. The 224 brush, dip it right in here, and you got to be really careful with this because it can go south really quickly. So you want to blend right here. You want to make sure that this color Lineup just barely peeks out over your crease, so you don't want it to come up too high. Okay, so you want to start right where that shadow kind of starts or ends on the lid, and you're just gonna softly blend it up. Okay, you can see it's slowly starting to soften and diffuse. I might need to go in with a 217 brush, and which I will do on the other side. But this is where it makes all the difference between this eye and this eye. So you can see it just kind of like peeks out like a sunset, like just blends. Okay, and you want to make sure it has a nice you're following that line here from your nose to your brow. So that's the angle you want the shadow to go in. Okay, so again, I'm gonna just blend that edge and bring it up above the crease. Okay, you can see now it's much more blended. It has a really nice, just diffused look to it. You really want to just diffuse it, make sure it's really soft and just peeking out just over that crease. So it's a super basic smoky eye. I'm now gonna take 214 brush. It's a short smudger brush. I'm just gonna take this color here. My eyes are a little watery, so it might not turn out the way I want it to. I'm just gonna smudge this along the lower lash line. Okay, I'm just gonna go here. I just want to go right up against the lash line. I'm going right into where my pupil ends here. That's as far as I'm gonna go, and just connect it with the top. Okay, so we're just gonna do that. I'm gonna take this brush one more time. I'm gonna take this darkest color here on the tip of the brush, so it's gonna go here. I'm just gonna smudge it against the lash line just for some definition along the lashes. You just want to smudge it out, diffuse it, My brush is wet from my tears, so it's giving me a little bit of a hard time. I'm gonna add just a touch of a wing. And this is, you know, like, it's not meant to be a very like defined look. It's, you know, just a very easy smoky eye. So the whole point is that it looks just very soft and diffused. I'm gonna take a 266 brush, an angled brush in this color here, and just go on the outer third of the eye here. And this is a more dramatic look, so stop wherever you feel like you're comfortable with. Lastly, I'm going to take this color and I'm just going to place it in the inner corner here. You don't want it to be super shiny and bright, but you do want to bring some kind of light back to the eye since it is so dark, such a dark look. Okay, and just blend that out if you can. Again, my eyes are tearing up, so it's kind of hard. I'm just gonna place some of that color right here, just on the highest point of the brow. Next, curl my lashes. So I'm gonna tilt my head up here and just press. Okay, so you can see that it got a really nice curl. Okay. Hello and welcome to my channel. So in this video, we are on the third look of our ILIA palette series. This is going to be probably the most dramatic look that I'm going to do, but it's very, very easy. I love it. I think it's just fun for if you're going on a date night or a girls' night and you kind of just want to kind of zhuzh it up and sass it up a little bit. So if you want to see how to do this look, then keep watching. I'm going to take my mascara. I'm using the CoverGirl Lash Blast. I believe it's called Lash Blast Clean in Very Black Waterproof. And one reason, I mean, I don't necessarily wear looks like this often, but if you do want to go with, you know, more of a this type of smoky eye, it's a lot more forgiving. Like, it doesn't need to be so perfect. It can be very just diffused, and you don't have to be very super careful. It's the finished eye look, and we used a lot of the colors, but it was fairly easy. So let's move on to lips. Because the eyes are so dramatic, you always want to focus on just one look. If you're not doing a balanced look where everything is equal. And lastly, I'm gonna do my lips, and we're just gonna do something very, very simple and easy, and nothing really too crazy, because the eyes are so dark. We want to keep this the center of attention and the focus, so everything else is very subdued. So I'm gonna go in with Charlotte Tilbury's Pillow Talk lip pencil, and I'm just gonna color in the outer part. This is a really nice natural lip pencil. It looks very similar to like most people's natural lip color. There is a deeper lip color or lip pencil, And then I am going to go in with the Collagen Lip Bath from Charlotte Tilbury in Refresh Rose. This is basically a clear lip gloss. I believe it actually plumps up the lips. Doesn't really add anything other than shine. Okay, so before the finished look is done, I'm just gonna take a big buffer brush and I am just gonna soften out all of the blush, contour, just so it has a very flawless look. And it really just softens everything out. So that is the finished look. Very easy, very simple. I mean, we used a lot of colors, but it's very easy to create this look. Please let me know what you think. Which look do you prefer thus so far? Please let me know in the comments. Please like, comment, subscribe to my channel. I'm gonna be doing looks like this, different palettes. That way you can learn how to get the most out of the palettes that you buy or you already have. So if there's a palette that you like and you kind of want ideas on how to use it, please let me know and maybe I'll do a series on it. But I would love to have you as part of my community so that we can share about how to make beauty easy and accessible for busy women, busy mamas out there. Yeah, so thank you so much for taking the time to watch and support, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.